So before buying a greenhouse, guys, you really need to watch this video. I have my greenhouse 3 years ago, and I wish I did more research before buying it. But do I regret owning a greenhouse? Absolutely not. There's some good things and there's some bad things with having a greenhouse. Now, the one thing you want to make sure when buying a greenhouse, you want to make sure you have enough room in your yard. You want to have it a good location. You want to make sure you have enough sun. You need a lot of sunlight, especially if you live in a zone like where I live in Zone 7A. We have winter, spring, fall, summer. You need a hot place because coming down to the fall, you rely on the sun hitting it. The second thing you want to make sure too, guys, you want to make sure that wherever you're living, it's not windy or you're not getting a lot of snow. If it's really windy and you're getting a lot of snow, you want to make sure you get a strong, heavy-duty greenhouse. If you have some kind of plastic greenhouse, some kind of lightweight greenhouse in a windy place, it will blow away. Or if the snow come down, it's caving in. So these are all things you have to consider than having a greenhouse. Now there's two options if you're having a greenhouse. Are you going to have a greenhouse with heat inside, or are you just going to have a greenhouse like mine, which is absolutely nothing? I'm going to show you guys in my greenhouse in a second, and I'm going to let you know right now, when you buy a greenhouse or you build a greenhouse or you order one online, just remember, most of the greenhouse come just the frame. It's basically the outside. In the greenhouse is basically empty inside, so you have to buy all your stuff or build all your stuff and organize your greenhouse inside. The other thing you have to think about too, foundation. Right? You got to think, should I build a concrete foundation to keep it sturdy and then we don't have no weed? Or you could build it on the ground. Just make sure your ground is solid. You don't have any sprinkler. You don't have anything under that location you're going to be putting your greenhouse. And the other thing, if it's too light, you want to make sure you anchor your greenhouse. If not, as I said, it will get blown away. Now, the other thing with my greenhouse right here, guys, summertime, it gets really, really hot. So I got to get up in the morning and I have to make sure I come and open up my greenhouse. If I don't open up my greenhouse, it will hit over 100 degrees and roast most of my plants in there. So you got to make sure in greenhouse with the temperature is really tough. For an example, sometimes it will be like, 40 something in the night. So I close my greenhouse and then you wake up in the morning, it's still cold, but then coming up to like 12 o'clock, the peak time of the sun, and it gets really hot. So you got to make sure you open up your greenhouse. The good thing about this greenhouse, what I have here, this is a wooden greenhouse. It has glass. And the good thing about this one, guys, they have two top windows, which I'm going to show you. When it gets really hot, it pops open by itself. So let me show you guys my greenhouse, and I'm going to let you guys know some more pros and cons about a greenhouse. And before we get there, guys, if you're new, welcome to GreenTGarden. We're all about growing a better home garden together. Please subscribe. It's 100% free, and I got a lot more videos coming up for you guys. A quick look around. That's me cleaning up right there, and this is my greenhouse. I think it's 12 by 8 feet, and you can see the glass. We still got some snow there. And then kind of in the back, I made sure I had some space in the back because I don't want to bring it close to the fence. I wanted some room, so I put 2 beds down there, and I build this trellis. It's basically cucumber and whatever I want to plant. So it's a quick look of the greenhouse. It's a beautiful greenhouse. It's not that big, and I love it, guys. Full sun hitting my greenhouse. It's really hot. It's gonna be springtime soon in Long Island, New York. So you come here, guys. The good thing about this my greenhouse, I could open up the bottom half door, or I could open the top, or I could open the full thing. So as you could see, I have plastic. If you're wondering why I have plastic, I use it as kind of insulation because I do not have a heater or anything in my greenhouse. So looking at my greenhouse here, I'm gonna show you guys these shelves. I put them in myself, and on the floor it's dirt underneath this. This is the weed barrier, so you could see literally no weed, and I have this for a couple years now. So check in the link in the description. I'm gonna leave some of the weed barriers, some of these racks, and some of Amazon best greenhouse for now starting off. So that's dirt underneath, and I kind of want to make a separate area right here, a boxed in area, like a raised bed just for that there. And you can see I have shelves. and I recently seeded. I have to seed more, and I have more shelves and more shelves. So I got all these shelves on Amazon. So if you want, you could, you guys could plant on the ground, but put in the shelves, I get to stack more plants. So, and you could see I have this piece of stick running up here and coming. So I have my running plants will run up top. So I make use of the up top. If you guys wonder where I got this greenhouse from, I got it from Wayfair. I did not build this greenhouse. Sorry. Yep, I bought it from Wayfair, and I bought all the racks, all the containers, some containers dollar stores. The racks are from Amazon, and all these. Look, I save everything, guys. The good thing with a greenhouse, you guys get to store stuff. Winter, summer, fall. And the other good thing about a greenhouse, you guys get to plant before regular people start planting outdoor. You get a 2 months advantage at least. And even when it comes down to fall, it comes down to winter time and most people garden is dying, you still have an extra 2 months on your hand to plant in the greenhouse, because it gives you a longer time when you're seeding in the greenhouse. And you can see I use a bubble wrap here. There's a lot of air coming in from that door. They open from the bottom, so I kind of like duct tape it and seal it off so no cold air was coming in from there. And if you guys see up here, look, it pops open by itself, and then when it gets more hot, the other side will just pops. It just pops right open, and that's pretty cool from this. But you could see it's wooden, and it has some kind of like plexiglass on it that brings the heat and really like kind of trap the heat in here. And everything is growing. It's really cold outside, but as you could see, stuff is growing inside. The hardest thing so far that own a greenhouse is basically controlling the temperature, because I don't have any heat or I don't have any fan in here. It all depends on me. It all depends on when I get up. It depends on the weather, and I have to, come open up the door. If it gets cold, I have to make sure I close the door. And the other thing about a greenhouse, you have to make sure springtime, summertime, you're leaving the door open. If you don't leave the door open, I leave the back door open, because if you don't, there's no bees gonna fly in here, and you do need bees to pollinate, unless if you're gonna hand pollinate every single thing, which I don't hand pollinate every single thing. So it's good to leave your door open in springtime so the bees comes in, and they come in really early. So you're gonna make sure you get up early and you leave your doors open. That's another thing in the greenhouse. If you guys buy a greenhouse and you do the whole heating system and thermal system that everything controls, then you have no problem. But make sure you buy a bigger greenhouse if you're gonna do that, because then you could plant more. And it makes sense, because electric bill is going to be a lot more when you do that, so you want to make sure you get the best out of it. If you got to get a greenhouse, get one. Just make sure you get a good location. Make sure you put it where the sun is. Make sure it's heavy enough, sturdy enough if you live in a windy or a snow area. You just gotta work around with it temperature wise. And the other thing is watering. Make sure you have like a hose, so you gotta bring your hose and water in here. So make sure you have like a faucet somewhere, or you have to buy like a longer hose. But is it a lot of work to maintain? No. You just want to make sure you clean it. You don't want a lot of bugs or stuff coming here, and then you don't have a lot of bugs that come. I really don't have a lot of bugs that come in the greenhouse. I do have bugs and ants outside. I barely have anything going on in the greenhouse. So greenhouse could be very pricey too, guys. Another thing, this one is like almost $4,000 to $5,000 because it's heavy duty. I live in a windy area. It's a lot of snow here wintertime, so I wanted to make sure it's not going to break apart. And so far, it's been holding on really strong, keeping my finger crossed. So make sure, guys, get a good greenhouse if you live in one of the tough area like I live in here. But there's greenhouses that are very cheap. I'll show you guys. Check in the link in the description. I'm going to leave some Amazon choice and a bestseller greenhouse on Amazon. Check out the links and check the price and details out. They're not this expensive like this one. But Wayfair to have like so much option, and the deliver depends where your location is. Alright, guys, thank you so much for watching GreenTGarden, guys. Don't forget to subscribe. It's 100% free. If you click the bell icon, every time I upload a video, you'll get a notification right away. And guys, thank you so much for all who's been subscribing and watching. Stuff is now started growing. We're gonna be doing a lot more coming up in this greenhouse. Springtime is coming around, and I'm really excited. I'm not excited for the weed. It's a lot of weed out there in the front yard, backyard. And then opening pool, closing pool. There's so much stuff in New York. When living in New York, guys, you have to deal with a lot of stuff with the weather. Wintertime, summertime, it's a lot of stuff to do. But I love it, and I can't complain. And I'm ready for some spring weather. I'm ready to harvest some fresh lettuce, something to grow, guys. So I'm going to keep you guys updated and posted with more video coming up, guys. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys next time on